Welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, Poetry History, a thought for the day. On this day in 1910, the great French writer and playwright, particularly Jean Anouilh, was born. He wrote much of his drama during some of France's darkest days, World War II particularly. He wrote during the first half of the 20th century in particular. He's perhaps best known for his adaptation of Sophocles' great play Antigone. And if you're not familiar with that play, it's a wonderful statement of morality and bravery. It tells the story of Antigone, the young Greek girl condemned to death because she refused to obey the law of the King of Thebes, but preferred instead to follow God's law that stated that her brother should be buried rather than left unburied, as the King of Thebes had decreed following his execution. A very brave girl Antigone was, and Jean Anouilh's plays are often about moral dilemmas such as that. He was a very great playwright in my view, though he fell out of fashion because his sort of realism and traditional structure of his plays was kind of overtaken by the new wave of people like Samuel Beckett, who came a bit later. Nevertheless, he's a great writer, and I'm going to read part of Antigone's great speech about morality and obeying the laws of heaven rather than the laws of mortal people, a choice we sometimes still have to make today. And people saw this play as a sort of allegory for the dilemma facing France in the 20th century during World War II, and the dilemma that faces countries today often. Here we are. Here's part of Antigone's great speech from Sophocles' play. Here, she's speaking here to Creon, King of Thebes. Yes, for it was not Zeus that published that edict. The justice of the gods below and their laws are not thus given to men. I do not consider that your decrees have such force that a mere man can override the unwritten and infallible laws of heaven. For such laws are not of today or yesterday, but of all time, and no man knows when they were first issued. I would be ashamed to answer to the gods for breaking their laws. Die I must, I know that well. How should I not, even without your edicts? But if I am to die before my time, I count that a gain. For when anyone lives as I do, beset with evil, can one find anything but gain in death? So for me to meet this doom is trifling grief. But if I had allowed my brother, my mother's son, to lie in death an unburied corpse, that would have grieved me more. For my own death I am not grieved. Such a brave statement from a young girl. It's a voice that echoes through the centuries, 2,000 years. I find it very moving today. Today I give thanks for brave and fearless people that there still are in the world today. Thanks.